I'm on a mission to watch movies from the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, and I'm calling it Older Movie Reviews. And this is part 5. I have a movie recommendation from one of you, so shout out to Spencer for the movie recommendation. Today we're going to look at the 1991 movie Hudson Hawk, starring Andy McDowell, Bruce Willis, and quite a few other heavy hitters. Hudson Hawk is a movie about the title character played by Bruce Willis, who is a fantastic cat burglar but gets set up and sent away to prison. When he finally gets out, he's blackmailed by his parole officer to rejoin the life of crime. As much as he fights it, he has no choice, and a wild adventure ensues full of the CIA, the Vatican, and even a couple of billionaires. I want to begin by saying that this movie is slapstick comedy. This movie is camp. If you do not find that type of humor funny, then this movie is not for you. Personally, I enjoy humor like that. Was it cheesy? Yes. Were there a few scenes that I rolled my eyes? Absolutely. But it was funny. It knows what it is, and it's not trying to be anything else or hide what it is. I do think it's a rather complex movie, despite what it may seem like, because it does use several different styles of comedy, and it is covering several different styles of genre. It's an action, it's a comedy, it's an adventure. I think they do a good job of equally mixing in jokes that are funny to be funny and then jokes that actually move the story forward and tell you about the character. For being a comedy, I feel like it did have quite a dense story where the plot continued to thicken. You don't know whose side is on whose side. When you think that the story is over, it's not over because there's another element that we didn't know about. There's a consistent messaging of greed, of being caught up in these systems. They criticize the police, they criticize the Vatican, they criticize billionaires, and they do a lot of this criticism through comedy. Now, I do want to point out that with these older movies, there are bound to be some oof moments, and I will say that the stereotyping of Italians in this movie was unnecessary. It didn't add to the movie other than to like play up their location, which was Rome, so cheap shots in my opinion. I do think for a 90s movie, they did a pretty good job. They do point out a little bit of toxic masculinity. Bruce Willis is very comfortable in his sexuality. They have a scene where Andy McDowell is like, well, I got bored, so I saved myself. So they did try. Cinematography wise, I feel like there was a little bit left to the imagination. Obviously, they were focusing on the slapstick comedy and the practical effects. There are a lot of explosions in this movie. It's not that the cinematography was bad. I just think that after Starman and Gattaca, I was really looking for those interesting shots. And although there were a few, there weren't enough for me. They did have some interesting sets though, and some very interesting costuming to play up the campiness of it all. It reminded me a lot of Tim Burton's Batman, especially the billionaires and their costuming, the whole set of their lair. I'll include screenshots. I did want to say I found a review while I was Googling screenshots from 1991 from Entertainment Weekly, absolutely destroying this movie and giving it a D plus. Seems the movie did not get its flowers when it first came out, and I do feel a little bit better about my reviews because if you think I'm harsh, overall I would give it a 3 out of 5. I am a comedy person through and through. It made me laugh a lot. I really liked how complex the story was, like how much I had to pay attention. It was very entertaining. You never really knew what was going to happen next. The ending was very slapstick, but in a way had a twist. I would definitely recommend it to somebody that likes comedies, especially older comedies, especially action comedies, or if you're a fan of Bruce Willis's comedic work. Personally, I love the whole 9 yards. I love Bruce Willis in everything, but especially when he does comedy. So maybe I'm a little biased there. This one I didn't watch on Tubi. I watched it on Pluto TV, but that is also free. If you'd like to see my older reviews, I have a hashtag. It's hashtag older movie reviews. You can go to search and go to hashtags. It should bring you right to it, or you can check out my page. Let me know in the comments, have you seen Hudson Hawk? Did you like Hudson Hawk? What should I watch next? I am going through your recommendations as fast as I can. Also going to the free ones first. I will say that. Full transparency. And as always, I hope you had a great day.